If you watch TV here in Reno, then you are probably familiar with our next guest. And if you watched Comedy Central last night, Tosh.0, you saw a hilarious presentation. We are joined by men's rights attorney Marilyn York. Marilyn, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Nice
Tell
to
me
see
how
you.
this all started with Tosh, a top popular comedian on Comedy Central. How did their producers just contact you? They saw your commercials?
Yeah.
How did it happen?
They called me after the first of the year and said they were familiar with my commercials and wondered if I'd be willing to come on and do a web redemption. They assured me that they would not make fun of me, or Daniel wouldn't, and I said, I'm sure he will. But since I get death threats as my normal daily routine, I'm totally fine. You can make fun of me. I make fun of me. It's fine.
What was the experience like? You fly down to L.A.
They flew me down the night before, and then morning of, took me to the set, told me briefly they'd interview me, and he and I would do 2 skits. No idea what the skits were. They asked me if I wanted my questions in advance. I said no, because I personally think I'm better off the cuff. And then they brought me on set, brought him on set. He did about a 45-minute interview, which they narrowed down into my 3 to 5 minute interview that aired. And then he and I did 2 skits together, one with the girl that played his wife, and then we did our own television commercial.
Okay.
Which was on a teleprompter. And they filmed me the first time I read it, which I burst out laughing at my first line. And they were like, no, Marilyn, we need you to not laugh on the set. I'm like, I'm not an actress. This is ridiculous stuff. I can't hold it together.
It was good stuff. Let me ask you this. Did you have, when you saw it last night, you were seeing it for the first time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I was a little
What'd you
worried.
think?
I thought it was funny, and then he was very kind to me. I thought for sure he'd make me look worse, which I did look like a woman hater, which I'm not really. But they did certainly enhance the woman-hating qualities of our interview, which is fine. Obviously, it makes for a good show, but just, you know, that was the only thing that caught my father off guard. I barely noticed, because I say stupid things every day.
We all do. We all do.
I'm pretty up there.
Let's get back to the alleged women hating. You say you don't do that. You're a men's rights attorney. Why are you a men's rights attorney? Was this something that you thought they weren't getting a raw deal when you got into law?
Absolutely. And I just think the cross-gender works. I think men listen to women better in the authority kind of.
We have to.
Yeah, we scare you. And women get scared by men. And when I tell a woman, you know, don't do that, you're a bad mom, she wants to have this gender battle with me about who's a good mom, which is not what it's about. I also just like underdogs. I help homeless girls and men in family court. I just think that's the one place you're underdogs. You guys aren't wired to be underdogs. You don't know what to do. You freak out and deer in the headlights and then ruin your case by like, so you need like a cheerleader. Hopefully you haven't been there, but stay out.
I will. All right, let me ask you this. Back to the web redemption. I watch Tosh all the time. Usually the people who do these web redemptions aren't someone with a name and a face in a profession like yours.
Yes.
How different was that? You've seen other guys in web redemptions.
They're like Kitty Girl or like slow white rapper guy.
Wizard, you know.
They're like in their mom's basement in Kentucky, and there's no identifying information. I did have that panic yesterday and thought, my phone number and my email and my web address are on my logo, which he was kind enough to remove.
Yeah.
I noted last night, which I never asked him to do. We didn't talk about it. But it didn't protect me per se, because I've gotten quite a few extremely interesting marriage proposals in my inbox this morning.
Good.
And my personal email is not on my website, so they figured out my email. So I know that my poor office manager, who gets all of our web email, had already gotten 7 during the show, because she was watching her phone at the viewing party, and they are hilarious. One was Chelsea Handler and Tony Robbins had a baby, and it's you.
Oh, good.
I was like, that's a little better than Sarah Palin and Ann Coulter having a baby.
I can see that.
I like that the people that birthed me are more or less my age always. So I'm like, that's kind of sweet. Like, my Botox is totally working.
Very good, very good. It was fun, though? You enjoyed it?
Yes, I loved it. It was light and nice, and I don't get to do light stuff. Really, I make light of awful things, because that's the way I cope and the way I help my clients, but it was so nice to just be stupid and be able to cuss. No censorship. My favorite place to be in the world. Well,
thank you for not keeping our censors busy today with the
Thank
old
you.
bleeping button. It doesn't work
here.
as well as Comedy Central. Awesome job. Good to see you, Marilyn.
Thank you. You too.
All righty. Tim, over to you.
All right. Well, good morning to you. We have some scattered shower activity in a few parts of the area this morning. We'll continue to see that dwindle, though, as we head through later on today. Those showers are mostly for the morning.